I am here with Robert Rolnick of Wind Everest Corporation. Come on, get in here. All right. So he said something to me last week, and I had to make sure I got this on camera because it caught me off guard a little bit, and I hadn't seen him it's been a couple months. So tell me, number one, how long you've been an EV driver?
So I've been driving about 9 years, since 2016.
When I walked into the ION here in Houston last week, you had shared how, hey, that site you posted about Anoop, and then you said all these things and you went over to it. Now, what site was that?
So it was the IONNA site, which is a recently deployed supercharger, not supercharger, but level 3 charger.
Okay. And so based on my LinkedIn post, I think it was, prior to that, you hadn't heard of it?
Yeah, I saw it for the first time from your post, and then I did a deep dive trying to figure out who are these guys, where are they coming from? I guess they want to be a big player.
Okay. So I guess you could say maybe that's influence. That you
Perhaps, yeah. But I wanted to see it first, with my own eyes and have it plug into my own car and really see if it would work.
You post an article about IONNA stations, which I've read. And I'll, of course, link to all that. You live about 35 miles away from that center.
It's a bit of a hike.
Right. So you made a special trip to go visit the site just out of what sounds like curiosity.
Well, this is the first charger inside Texas that has an awning that's anywhere near me. So it's like, well, this is an awning. This is like one cut above. This is the creme de la creme. So I might as well try it out, before I go off to the middle of Kansas and see what's going on there.
You took your Tesla?
Yes, took my Tesla, which is not among the consortium that has built these things. There's a consortium of, what is it, 8 different manufacturers that are behind and supporting it.
Yep.
So I'm kind of on the outside group going to one of these things. I know a lot of people who are driving non-Teslas are now trying out the Tesla chargers. So I wanted to kind of, see what it's like to be on the other side of things.
So far, it's a new station.
Yes.
In the Heights, Houston, for anyone who's not already familiar, near Memorial Park. But you went there, and I was like reading through the article. I'm like, okay, he's basically going to tell us he had a great experience. But there was actually a little bit of a hiccup.
Yes, there was a snafu. I plugged in using the NACS charger port, which is native to the Teslas and becoming more and more a secondary standard here in U.S. And did not charge, even though I'd presented both my credit card and also near field communication with my Apple Pay. And so I had to call up IONNA, and they took my details, which year and model of car I was using, and it just didn't work, even with their help.
Were you able to successfully charge?
No, I actually wasn't.
And so obviously being a EV driver of 9 years, I'm kind of curious. There was a number of things I cited in my post about just how does the IONNA brand get out there? Because being in Houston, being here in the center or 35 miles north of, you hadn't known about that brand, and I know you're playing in this space. So, what would you think about as far as them not reaching you as an EV driver, a customer, like quick moments of what do you think they could have done to have captured your attention?
Perhaps if they were more visible and present. I know that PlugShare, which I think of as the cornerstone of finding all the electric chargers, it's an app on your phone, and it's pretty comprehensive. But they offer advertising within that. So if they would pop up an ad every now and then inside that, I think I see Shell Recharge show up from time to time. But that would be perhaps the most, inside the app, It pops up a little banner ad somewhere. And so that would be the optimal place, I think.
To your point, I think a lot of people, it's common to use PlugShare. So I don't know if this feature exists, but if it doesn't, I would like to see it, which is, hey, within, I'd say almost 100 miles, if a new fast charger is popped up, it should just be like, because I know if you pull it up, it'll say coming soon. That's if you're actively looking. Yeah. But I think passively they should say, hey, ding, new fast charger site has opened somewhere in your 100-mile within residence. So that way people are like, okay, I know if I go to this part of town, there's more infrastructure.
I'd love to see something like that where you just get something that pings you that level 3 is just emerged and it's just on the outskirts of your city. You might pass by it.
The big thing here was to find out, that when Robert shared that he found out about the site, it was like, hey, it's kind of nice to know that these posts reach people in the industry. And how about on LinkedIn? Anyone in particular?
Oh, yeah. Pangea, I'm always seeing your posts popping up. So, I've got to comment whenever I see those.
No, but I appreciate that you took the time to share those insights. And so, folks, if you want to learn more about what Robert's up to, Wind Everest Corporation, I just learned a little bit about it here just visually, so I'll share some of that in a future post. But go check him out and connect. Appreciate it.